All right, folks, welcome back to the TNT show. So we're a little late to the party. We know the rankings already dropped, but this is pretty much our reaction to the initial ranking. So if this were the end of the season today, and this is how this bracket would play out, then here's who we think has a shot to win the whole thing, and we're just going to break it down bracket by bracket. So we're going to go ahead and get into it.
I mean, yeah. Obviously, like you said, this isn't a lot of things would change because some of these teams still got to play each other. But
Exactly.
Number 12 is Memphis. I think they're a top 25 team.
They're not right now, but they would consider. I think when they made
Did they get knocked out of the top 25? They were.
Well, yeah, but when they do the playoff rankings, I guess it's different because right now they're not even in the top 25 for the playoff rankings. But the group of five that's the highest ranked, I think even if they're not top 25,
I'm about to say technically they're 22.
Yeah, so technically, even though they're not in the top 25 playoff rankings, they're still ranked higher somewhere in there than the other group of five teams. So they get that last spot.
All right, so we have got. Let me see. I lost the bracket. Hold on. So they would play Georgia. Not gonna lie to you, Georgia would probably maul them. You ready for me to say it? It would just be. I just think Georgia would be too physical for Memphis. I don't know if they could hang in there with them.
Yeah,
they might for a little bit, but I just think eventually they would just get wore down.
Yeah, I mean that's not even a conversation. I think Georgia's just that much better of a football team than Memphis is.
I don't even know if it'd be that. I think it's the physical aspect of Georgia would just be bigger, stronger, faster. Now the Oregon Texas Tech game, I think that game probably be a shootout.
Oh, potentially yes, but I mean, again, Oregon is one of those teams that's been pretty good defensively. So I don't know.
I mean, Texas Tech has been lighting people up, so that'd probably be a pretty good game.
Yeah, but like we always say, they play in the Big 12. They score a lot of points.
Virginia, Ole Miss, I think that'd be a good game, but again, I think Ole Miss will be too much. I don't know if. Again, I haven't watched Virginia play a whole lot. I know they're pretty decent, but their conference kind of sucks.
Yeah, the ACC.
But I don't know.
Not that strong this year.
I don't know who they've played. Like I said, I can't really I don't want to be too SEC biased here, but I don't know. I don't know if they could go toe to toe with Ole Miss because they could score some points and got a good defense.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Notre Dame, BYU. I think that'd be a pretty good game. Again, Notre Dame really hadn't played anybody. BYU, they're undefeated, right?
I don't even know about you. I'm not. They should be, yeah.
Again, it's tough to say. Their conference is not that great. I think. Hold on a second. Let me. Don't they?
I mean,
well, BYU plays Texas Tech Saturday, tomorrow. So we'll see how good they really are. They played Texas Tech. I thought so. So Texas Tech is favored by 12 points. So obviously BYU isn't that good.
As the bracket up to this point, I think it's pretty. I feel like they got anything wrong. So obviously,
I will
again,
say,
like Tyler said,
go ahead.
Oh, it's subject to change. So obviously, by the time the end of the season gets here, this bracket is going to look I think the top 4 could be about the same, but it's the 5 through 12 that's going to be a lot of shifts. So I think Georgia's going to stay where they are.
Well, no, because the winner of the SEC will obviously get one of the 1 through 4. They'll go somewhere.
Yeah.
Ohio State and Indiana probably won't be both there. They could be because they don't play each other till the Big Ten. So
did they not take out the qualifiers
change.
for did they not take out the qualifiers for the conference championships? Where you got an auto bid? I thought they took that out.
If you win, you automatically go. So let's say right now it would be Alabama, Texas A&M. I think. I don't know how that works because Alabama doesn't have a loss in the SEC, so yeah, they would go. And Texas A&M's undefeated. So
yeah.
Alabama's in a tough spot right now. They honestly they're on the tough side. Because like I said, Georgia's probably they realistically they should maul Memphis. Whether or not they do, they may not. I don't know. But that would mean they'd have to play Georgia again. It's tough to beat somebody twice. You've already just played them. And like you said, you kind of barely beat them the first time.
Exactly. So, I mean, I'm not speaking to them losing that game.
Y'all are playing a little bit better, but Georgia's playing a little bit better too.
Because I personally think that Alabama would win even in a rematch.
I think so too, because they just been getting kind of lucky. They've their defense has let up a bunch of points.
Yeah. So,
but this kind of like the NFL. You get to the playoffs. I mean, Kirby's a good coach. I mean, you've already played once, so he's going to know what to expect.
Well, same thing on Bama's end. You know what to expect because, I mean, you've already played Gunner Stockton once.
It's like you said, you just got to play Ohio State in the semis.
Yeah, whoever wins that game is going to have a tough game to follow because it's Ohio State in the semis. So,
which again, no disrespect to Ohio State, but who have they played? You really don't know how good they really are. Penn State's trash. Their quarterback's hurt. They fired their coach.
Yeah,
you barely beat Texas at the beginning of the year.
Again, the Ohio State team this year just hasn't faced the adversity that they faced last year. Think about it. Last year, going into the playoffs, they had already lost to Oregon early in the season. They lost to Michigan, didn't play in the conference championship, and just they carried that chip on their shoulder and took it all the way to a national title. So, you look at them now. They're winning all their games. The schedule's soft. You haven't faced any adversity yet. What happens if you go to?
Yeah, what happens when you get punched in the mouth? How do you respond?
Yeah, I mean, if Indiana comes out and punches you in the mouth, it's a good thing because it's not the playoffs. You get a reality check. If Indiana just somehow beats Ohio State in that conference championship, you get a nice little reset before the playoffs. You get your mind back right because you were sitting sky high. Now, let's say Ohio State cruises to the playoffs. They get that first round bye and they're chilling. You got to come out and play a physical team in Bama or Georgia, and I mean, let's be honest.
They'll play the winner of Oregon and Texas Tech.
Oh, wait. Yeah, that's right. Never mind. I'm thinking too far ahead. I'm thinking of the semis.
So, no, they'll have to play in the quarterfinals first.
But yeah.
But again, like we've seen last year, every team that had the first round bye got beat.
Exactly. So again, either one of those teams, personally, again, no disrespect to Texas Tech, but the Big 12 is not a super strong conference. It's not a lot of great teams that are going to push you towards, you know, a playoff push like that. So
I'm about to say we'll see. They play BYU, so we'll see.
Yeah. I mean,
I think Ole Miss would give Texas A&M a better game than Virginia probably would. Just to be honest with
you. Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah, for sure.
But then again, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't watched Virginia play. They may shock some people. I don't know. But the higher seed, which I don't think is fair, gets home field advantage. So as of right now, Georgia would get home field advantage. Texas Tech would get home field advantage. Ole Miss would get home field advantage, and BYU would get home field advantage. As of right now.
Yeah.
So that works perfectly for Alabama because they don't have to go to Ohio where it's going to be 20 degrees outside.
True.
Oregon, Texas Tech, Oregon, it's cold up there, so that probably wouldn't really be much of an issue. Texas Tech, it doesn't really get that cold in Texas. So Virginia, Ole Miss, it doesn't really get cold there either. I think it gets a little cold in Virginia. Ole Miss, it don't get cold. Texas A&M, it don't get cold. The quarterfinals are played in the dome or played on neutral sites, right?
I think the quarterfinals are played in bowl games. I think everything after the first round.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's like the Rose Bowl, the Orange Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, and something else.
Yeah, I'm pretty. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure it's quarterfinals is bowl games. Quarterfinals and on is bowl game.
Yeah, the first round you get home field advantage.
So if you had to pick a favorite, who would you outright say could win the whole thing? You only pick one. You can't
Honestly, Texas A&M.
That's a pretty solid choice.
The only thing I'll say about them is they have struggled. They got a new coach. Marcel Reed's a little inexperienced. But
Yeah.
I mean, they got a pretty good football team. But they still got a long season left.
Yeah,
it's hard to say that right now because they still got to play 3 tough games.
Well, I mean, again,
honestly, if you wanted me to be honest with you, I'd probably have to pick Ohio State just because they have won. They haven't been beat up like A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss. You know, they hadn't really been beat up. They've been blowing people out. I don't even know if they've probably been sitting their starters because they're blowing people out 38-0, 38-4, and 38-6. And
true, that is true.
You're not getting banged up every week.
I mean, obviously, with my team
I like A&M though. I'd like to see. I know this might sound stupid, but I would like to see other teams, get in there. And Notre Dame, I don't think it's Notre Dame. They've been in the spotlight 100 times. They just can't seem to get it done.
Well, I mean, no disrespect to other teams.
Again, Indiana last year got exposed, and they got the brakes beat off of them.
I mean,
I don't think they got beat too bad, but they just, unfortunately, fell into the bracket where they had to play a good team. You kind of saw it when they got a little exposed when they played Ohio State last year. They kind of got exposed a little.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like you said at the beginning, when you don't play up to the competition, how do you respond when you get punched in the mouth? It's that part.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean,
because Oregon last year, Ohio State jumped on Oregon, and Oregon couldn't. There was really nothing they could do.
Yeah. But yeah, no disrespect to other teams. I mean, it's other teams just have to be better, and that's just the short version of it. I mean,
this is not going to be set in stone because obviously Texas A&M still has to play Texas. Texas Tech and BYU play, so that's going to shuffle it up.
Yeah.
On the bright side, Ole Miss, the SEC probably won't change very much because Ole Miss lost to Georgia, so that they've already played. Alabama already beat them. Neither one of them played Texas A&M.
Yep.
Until you get to the SEC championship game.
Yep. So there's a lot of interesting stuff left. There's still stuff that's going to happen in the coming weeks.
Non-biased, who do you think? Other than Alabama, you got to pick somebody else.
Oh, I mean, of course. I was going to say I was going to give my bias and my non-bias because obviously my bias answer is Alabama, but I'm not just saying that blindly. I have good reason why I would say something like that. Now if I had to choose non-bias, I mean, probably say Indiana. As crazy as that sounds, I mean, Indiana definitely, they definitely look good, and not just saying that they play some decent teams. I mean, they did beat Oregon, and Oregon's pretty good. So I'd probably say Indiana if I had to pick somebody non-biased.
We'll just run through it right quick. I just want you to give me the chance of them winning. What are the chances Memphis were to make it? I mean, you never know. They can make a run. You never know. What are the chances?
0.1.
So 0.1.
When the matchup predictor comes out, it's going to say 99.9 for Georgia, and it's going to say 0.1 if Memphis is still in that 12 spot.
So what about Georgia? What are their chances?
Like winning the whole thing, or like just
winning that game? We're talking winning the whole thing.
Oh, okay. I'd probably put Georgia somewhere around like 65, maybe. Good team. If they play right and hit that stride, they could definitely take it all the way.
What about Oregon?
Give Oregon about maybe.
The only thing I would be a little worried about Oregon, they've already been beat once by Indiana, so
exactly.
I was put Indiana and Ohio State about the same. So I don't know if Oregon could beat them. They was early in the season, though. It was early. So, like you said, you've had some time to rethink. You don't have to play them again. They already beat you once.
I'd probably give Oregon maybe say they're a 50-50 because
they're in a tough bracket too. Because right off the bat, if they beat Texas Tech, they got to go play Ohio State. And last year, it'd be a rematch of last year.
That would make that game very interesting because it would be a rematch.
What about Texas Tech? I don't know. I haven't seen them play a whole lot.
I'm gonna put them if they just so happen to still be there. I'd probably give them like I don't know, somewhere in the 30 range, just because they're not really a fully proven team.
What about Virginia and Ole Miss?
Virginia, they get somewhere about 10 because the ACC is weak right now, and I can't. I don't think they can make that run. Ole Miss, I'd probably give them somewhere in like the 75 range. Maybe 70, 75, just because, again, another good football team, solid on both sides of the ball, good coach. Yeah. All they got to do is just.
This will be where, as crazy as this might sound, it might sound stupid too. I think this is where Lane Kiffin's under the microscope a little bit. Okay, let's say you make the playoffs. Let's say you got beat by Virginia. Okay, well, obviously it's the same old, same old. He just can't win the big games. This is big. This could be big for Lane Kiffin.
I think win or lose.
It could be bad too. I mean, you got to think they fired James Franklin because he couldn't win big games. I mean, Lane Kiffin's never tasted an SEC title. The playoffs just kind of started, but you've never even been to a title game.
Yeah, but
so
I mean, now you technically don't have to. You just got to make the playoffs. So win or lose, I think the fact that he made the playoffs keeps him safe. I think he's okay.
Yeah, I will say I don't want to get too far off topic here, but you can tell something in him has changed because this year they haven't been doing those, go for it on fourth down every time, doing these crazy plays. I think he's starting to realize, okay, I've got to start producing here. He's already in talks to be the next coach at Florida or LSU, or I don't see him leaving Ole Miss. That'd be kind of stupid. But what about Notre Dame, BYU?
BYU, I'll probably say.
I think Notre Dame would beat BYU. Now I don't know if they could beat Indiana because I don't know if they can score enough to beat Indiana, but I think they could beat BYU.
BYU, I'd probably give them somewhere in that again. I'd probably give them a little higher, maybe 45.
Like I said, I think they would beat BYU. I just don't know if they could beat Indiana. I don't know if they'd have the. Essentially, they couldn't. That's why they couldn't beat Ohio State. Ohio State was just too much for them. They played a good game. They just couldn't really. They couldn't score when they really needed to.
Yeah, I mean, if Ohio State really wanted to blow them out in that game, they could have.
I mean, well, easy now. Notre Dame had a pretty good defense now.
Yeah, but they
offensively, they just didn't have enough to keep up with them.
Yeah,
and I think that's kind of where Indiana would be. So, like I said, I think they'd beat BYU. I just don't know. Like I said, I haven't watched BYU play a whole lot.
Oh,
because they're one of the teams that come on late at night.
If I were to give Notre Dame a percent chance, I'd probably put them somewhere in like the 20. I'd say in between, anywhere between 30 to 40, just because. I mean, again, freshman quarterback. After that, again, that doesn't really make a ton of a difference, but think how you look at that bracket, if it were to stay the same, I think that's a tough road to try to get back to the national championship.
You're playing a lot tougher teams.
Yeah.
What about, all right, so we'll just speed run these last four. Alabama, Ohio State, A&M, and Indiana. What you
got? Indiana, I'm going to give them about a 60%. Just because, I mean, they've looked pretty good. I mean, you can tell it's a different Indiana team from last year.
Plus, if it was staying the same, either way, I think they'd beat Notre Dame or BYU. I think they'd beat the other one of them. So I don't really think that would really matter.
True.
Pretty easy 2 games. Not saying easy. They got the favorable bracket here.
Yeah, for sure.
A&M, I think Ole Miss would give them I think that'd be a really good game. It'd probably be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, probably would.
Virginia, like I said, I know we've said it 100 times. I really haven't watched them play, so I really don't know. I really don't know. I don't know much about Virginia, so they might give them a good game. I think Virginia has a pretty good defense, but it's a different animal when you come in there playing with high-powered offenses like what they have. True. Their defense and Texas A&M's defense their front seven's pretty nasty.
Yeah, if I was gonna, let me see, A&M, I'd probably give them like a high number because, like you said, that bracket's a little more favorable. I think I'd probably give them about a 75 because, I mean, again, if you beat the teams in your bracket at that point, you've kind of hit that stride. So going to the Natty and winning the whole thing.
I'll put it to you this way: if A&M goes undefeated and wins the SEC title game, I think they can win the national championship because if they can get through that undefeated and not have a loss, then they should be able to handle just about any.
True. Now,
Ohio State, again, haven't really played anybody. Penn State sucks. Illinois, I don't even know if Illinois is still ranked.
I don't think so.
Michigan. They're kind of middle of the pack. They kind of are iffy. So you'll see how good they are in the Big Ten when they got to play Indiana.
Yeah.
So that's where you'll see. Now if they beat Indiana 38-10, well, you might want to just hand them the trophy right there.
Yeah.
Kind of like when they slaughtered Tennessee and Oregon. It was basically okay. Texas gave them a pretty good game, and they won on a strip sack. But what about Alabama? I know you got to try to not be biased here.
If you want me to be completely honest, I was probably going to put them somewhere in like that 40 range. But that's only because if you look at the bracket, I mean, coming out of the first round.
I don't know if they could beat Ohio State, if you wanted me to be honest with you. If
Coming
they
out of
did beat them, I think they would win.
Coming out of the first round.
Again, put it in the perspective of A&M. If they can make it through undefeated and win the SEC, I think that they got about an 80% chance.
Yeah, but I mean, the reason I put the number so low is because, again, if it were to stay the same and Georgia stays at that 5 and Bama somehow makes it.
You took the words out of my mouth. It's a rematch that you have to play Georgia again.
Yeah, if Bama somehow keeps at that 4 spot and Georgia's at the 5, obviously Georgia's going to beat whoever the 12 is. I could care less who it is, unless somebody good just happened to fall in that spot. Now, if Georgia was to go and play Bama, let's say Bama somehow beat them. After that game, you have to go and play Ohio State. And that's going to be a very, very tough game, especially a tough game to win at that. Do I think Bama would have a shot against Ohio State? Of course. Do I think they can beat them? 50-50. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Alabama really hadn't. I don't know if they've seen an offense like that yet.
Tennessee, and they held them to 20.
Yeah, well, they don't have.
I'm just saying.
They don't have nowhere near the talent that Jeremiah Smith is.
Nah, but they were averaging like, I don't know, about 40 points a game.
Yeah, but Tennessee's defense sucked. Ohio State's got a pretty good defense.
Yeah, it's
I
that
think,
part.
I think it's more of Alabama has been in 4, top 10, top whatever that streak was. They played some pretty good teams. They, like you said, a little bit of adversity last week with South Carolina, and they won the game. It wasn't pretty by any means. It's like you said. I think if Alabama beat Georgia again, I think they could beat Ohio State. I would just be a little worried about y'all's defense because Ohio State's got a good offense.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm pretty sure they've got a pretty decent running back, and everybody knows they have the best receiver in college football. So it's just bend but don't break, I guess, or score with them 1.
Oh yeah,
because Alabama's got a pretty good offense now too. So Ty Simpson's played pretty good, but I don't know if he has seen a defense as good as Ohio State's. I don't know if he's seen that yet.
That part I can agree with because I don't think
know.
He has.
Georgia's defense is it's okay. South Carolina's defense, their front 7's pretty good. As crazy as this might sound, I know LSU fired their coach, but A&M could just be a really good football team. But In the first half, we held A&M to 14 points. We just got away from us. I think in order for Alabama, they just have to keep Ohio State from out of the end zone.
Yeah.
And get after Julian Saint. Again, he's a young quarterback. So you just have to get after him. Again, Ty Simpson, same way. You don't really know what's going to happen because he hadn't really been harassed too much. But
I mean,
that's
South Carolina game. Yeah, that South Carolina game that was it was like a bigger gap, I'd say. So like it was the Florida State game. You saw it in the Florida State game. You saw it a little bit in the Tennessee game coming out of that second half, but then they kind of got back to what they were doing. But that entire game against South Carolina, yeah, they were all over him. But
I mean, South Carolina's front seven is pretty, and Alabama still got to play. I mean, I know they suck, but their defense is pretty good. They still got to go play Auburn. They still got to play LSU, and they still got to play Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's no easy road.
That is Bama, three rough games where they've got to still go win.
Luckily, 2 of those games are at home, but they do have to go play at Auburn, and you know how that goes.
Yep. So, but yeah, that's all I got. I don't want to talk too much.
Yeah, no, I mean that'll pretty much
LSU
do it for this
by
episode.
75.
All right. That'll pretty much do it for this episode. So as y'all know, every time the rankings drop, we'll have an episode pretty much like this, just talking about the movement and who we think
Alabama
at
sucks.
that point. So I'm gonna just let him get that off because of course he got to do it because after Bama wins the game by probably 30 points.
Well, we don't have a coach or a coaching staff, so when we beat y'all 38-10, when LSU wins, we'll be back next week to talk about it.
All right. Well, that'll do it for us here. We'll see y'all in the next episode.